Many of us don't remember this, but long ago, we lived inside our mother's womb. Okay, but many of us don't remember this. There were two hearts inside your mom's body. And heart energy is the most powerful energy there is.
Ride these waves together to learn to sparkle in all weather. Ride these waves together to learn to sparkle in all weather.
Hey my friends, and welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. My name's Amanda Jupiter Anderson. And today is such a beautiful day. Today we will be talking about a time of the past, a time long ago, a time when we were in our mom's womb, okay? And this video is the second video of this series, Fear, which is the series I've put together, all about this amazing book that I have read, and I have learned so much from this book, you guys. So I've made this series to share what I have learned and what has helped me and is continuing to help me tremendously when fear arises in my life. And, everyone in the spiritual community, they always say, don't fear, or be fearless, have no fear. But no matter who you are or how spiritual you have become, we all have fear that, comes up. It's totally normal. And if anyone tells you that they don't, well, then they're probably lying. Okay, so this series is going to help you to manage your fear and give you practices that you can do for when the fear does come up in your life. Because you guys, let's face it, even though, yes, we are all spiritual beings, we are still here, human, okay, having human experiences. So let's just get into the video. During this time when we were inside of our mother's womb, when our mother had two hearts inside of her, our mothers did every single thing for us, okay? Our mothers breathed for us, ate for us, drank for us, okay? So we were linked to her through our umbilical cord, and oxygen and food came to us through our umbilical cords. And we were still, all safe and content inside of our mother. We were never too cold or hot. We were always so comfy and cozy in there. We even chilled, relaxed all day on this fluffy cushion made of water. And did you guys know that in China, okay, I just realized this, found this out. In China, they call the womb the palace of the child. And when you really think about it, it's so true, you guys. And the name for the womb, palace of the child, it's just so fitting. We all spend 9 months or so in this palace. And you guys, in those 9 months that we spend inside of our mom's womb was some of the most pleasant times of our lives. And then the day came where, we all had to leave the palace. And that was the day we were born, okay? Everything felt different to us on that day. And boom, because we're thrown into a totally new environment. When we're born, we felt hungry, cold for the very first time. All the sounds were extremely loud, and all the lights were so blinding. And for the first time, we felt fear, okay? For the first time, we felt afraid. And this is called original fear. Inside the palace, we didn't need to even use our own lungs. But from the very moment we were born, someone cut the cord and we were no longer physically joined with our mom. She couldn't breathe for us anymore. for the first time, we had to breathe for ourselves. And if we couldn't breathe, then we would die. So birth was a very crazy and scary time for every single one of us. I mean, just think about it. We were literally thrown, into an entirely new place and had to do all of the main functions on our own in like this whole new world. And in that birth, our fear was born. That's where it was born. Born along with, the desire to simply survive. And this is original desire, the desire to simply survive. So as infants, we knew we had to have somebody to care for us in order to just survive. I mean, even after the cord was cut, we still had to rely on adults to survive. So when you depend on someone, or when you depend on something else to survive, it means that a link, a kind of invisible umbilical cord, is like there between the two of you. So when we grow up, our original fear and our original desire is still there, right? Even though, we're not babies anymore, we're still afraid, okay? Afraid that we can't survive, that no one's gonna take care of us. Every single desire that we have today in our life has its roots to this original desire to just simply survive. Even when we talk of the brain and its actual purpose, I mean, did you guys know that the brain's only purpose in our life roots back to just keeping us safe? As babies, we all find ways to make sure that we stay alive and survive. All of us do. And we may even have felt, very powerless. Like, when we had legs but we couldn't walk, or we couldn't grasp anything yet, but we had hands, So we had to figure out how to get somebody else to protect us, to take care of us, and to keep us alive. So don't get down on yourself if you feel afraid, okay? Don't get down on yourself, because everyone is afraid sometimes. We, as humans, we fear loneliness, being old, abandoned, dying, being sick, and the list goes on and on, my friends. And sometimes we may feel, fear without knowing exactly why. When we start to practice looking deeply, we see that this fear is the result of that original fear. From the time, when we were newborns, back when we were helpless and unable to do anything for ourselves. So even though we have grown up to be adults, that original fear and that original desire is still alive in us. Even our desire, to just have, somebody to spend the rest of our life with. Okay, that is a continuation of our desire for someone to take care of us. So, now we're adults, and a lot of times we're afraid, okay? We're afraid to remember or to be in touch with that original fear and desire because the helpless child is still alive in us. Okay, we haven't really had a chance to talk to him or talk to her, that child within us that's alive. Okay, we haven't taken the time to care for the wounded, helpless child that's within every single one of us. And for most of us, our original fear, continues in some form. I don't care who you are. Like, for example, sometimes we might feel scared of being alone, or we may feel that, alone we can't make it. So, we have to be with somebody. And this is what we call a continuation of our original fear. Okay? But if we don't start to look deeply, we will find that we have the ability to calm our fear and find our own happiness just in ourselves. So we need to look closely, very closely at our relationships, okay? To see whether, they're based on primarily mutual need or on mutual happiness. Because we do have a tendency to think that our partner, has the power to make us feel good, and that we're not okay unless we have that other person there. Okay, we think, I need this person to care for me, or, I won't survive. Have you ever felt like that? Have you ever felt that you were just gonna die, or you just couldn't make it if your boyfriend broke up with you, or if your husband left you for no good? This roots back to the original fear. And we all have it. We all have it. If your relationship is based on fear instead of mutual understanding and happiness, it doesn't have a solid foundation, you guys. So you may feel that, you require that person for your own happiness. But at some point, you may find the presence of the other person to be like annoying, and you just want to get away from them. And if you find that person to be annoying or like, a nuisance, and you just can't take it anymore, then that's how you know for sure that your feelings of peace and security didn't really come from that person. Okay? And if you like to spend a lot of your time, out somewhere around a lot of people somewhere, all the time, it may not be because, the particular gathering or party or wherever you are, it might not be that it's so interesting. It may be because you're afraid of being alone. You feel that you always have to be with other people. When you turn on the television, it may not be because, it's some really cool, fascinating program that you want to see and you can't miss it. It could be because you're afraid of being alone with yourself. So, my friends, if you're afraid of what other people might think of you, it comes from that same place. You're afraid that if others think bad about you, then they won't accept you and you'll be left all alone in danger. Okay? So, if you need others to always think good about you or good of you, that too is a continuation of the same original fear. If you regularly go shopping to buy yourself new clothes all the time, it's because of that same desire. That same desire that you just want to be accepted by others. You're afraid of rejection. You're afraid you'll be abandoned or left alone with no one to take care of you. So, my friends, we must look deeply, deeply to identify that original fear, desire that, are behind so many of our behavior. Every single one of our fears and desires today is simply a continuation of original fear and desire. So in this book that I've read and learned so much from, you guys, that I'm sharing with you, the author, Thich Nhat Hanh, spoke about he was walking and he felt something like an umbilical cord that was linking him to the sun and the sky. And he saw very clearly that if the sun wasn't there, he would die right away. Okay, and the same thing with the river. If the river wasn't there, he would also die. Okay, because there wouldn't be, any water to drink. And the same thing with the forest. Okay, because the forest, creates oxygen for us to breathe. So without the forest, we would die, right? So true, you guys, when you really think about it. Because we need all of those things to survive. So when you practice meditation, you start to see things that other people don't see. You might not see all of these invisible, umbilical cords that are linking you to your mother or your father, the farmer, the sun, the river, the forest, and so on, whatever, all these umbilical cords. But meditation can include visualization. If you were to draw a picture of yourself with all of these, umbilical cords attached to you from everywhere, you would discover that there's not only 4 or 5 or 10, but you guys, there's hundreds, maybe even thousands of them that you are all linked to. All of us are. And Thich Nhat Hanh, this amazing author of many powerful books that I'm reading today and studying, he lives in this place in France called Plum Village, okay? And there he uses this method called Gathis. And Gathis, this is a short practice of poems that they recite silently or even out loud throughout the day to help them live deeply in every action of their daily life. So I've started to do this practice because I love to write, you guys. I love it. And you just write out short poems and then recite them silently, or you can even do it out loud, throughout your day. And it literally will help you to live deeply in every single action that you're doing throughout your whole entire daily life. And it's so amazing, you guys. And they have Gathis for waking up in the morning, for brushing their teeth, and even one for using the car or the computer. It is so cool, you guys. And the Gathis, they say at Plum Village when they serve their food, it goes like, in this food I see clearly the presence of the entire universe supporting my existence. When you look deeply into the vegetables, you see sunshine inside of them, or in a cloud, you see the earth. And, a lot of hard, loving work is also there in the food that we eat for us. So when we can, look at the food in this way, even if nobody else is around or sitting down with us to share a meal, that your community, your ancestors, Mother Nature, and the whole freaking cosmos is right there with you, inside you, in every moment. And it's so cool, you guys. So we never need to feel alone. So one of the first things we can do to soothe our fear is to talk to it. You can sit down with that fearful child inside and be gentle with him or with her. Well, I guess I was talking too much because my camera just died. You hear those birds out there, you guys? Such a beautiful day outside. So I'm going to end this video. I hope that you guys found value in this. It is so important to really go within and take a look at your fear, examine it. It's okay. And realize that in this moment right now, you are okay. So I challenge you today to practice being in the present moment. It is so powerful, you guys. It is so powerful beyond measure. And I'm sending you guys tons of sweet ass energy from the Sunshine State. So I hope you guys have a beautiful, blessed, and creative day. I'm gonna get out of here. I've been on here for a while now, to the point where my camera died. So have a beautiful, blessed, and creative day, and I will speak with you guys again soon. And real quick, don't forget to hit that bell and hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on a brand new video. And I will see you guys again soon. Just have an awesome day. Stay blessed. Be creative. Peace.